Awesome. Today is November. Wait. All right. So Beth said, see if anyone can use their phone as a wireless hotspot, and they connect there. New battery is going to broadcast, but the stream's too bad.
Thank you, everyone. Willing to withstand the dire elements.
Dire elements. Just put on a sweater. My goodness. Huh? Yes.
Welcome everybody to the General Assembly. We're going to get started. We're hoping we have a quorum today. We got 5 proposals.
You don't have quorum, or we do?
Not yet. We're waiting for the building quorum. We can move them over.
Our first demand is unicorns. That's the proposal. Go away, bring us unicorns.
I'm going to hard block that because I don't want to put horns on horses.
Welcome everybody to the General Assembly. Today is day 192.
Yeah! We're so close! We're so close!
All right. And at this point, alguien necesita traducción a español. Yo. No, ¿de verdad? And anyone need ASL translators? Okay. So at
Hi,
this
hi.
point, we're going to introduce
Oh, I should plug in.
our
I need to plug in.
team tonight. Patrick and I are going to be moderating. Woo!
Love! Point love!
Our other stacker is Mike.
Yeah!
Michael is shadowing.
Yeah!
And Dennis, are you taking notes for us?
Yes.
Dennis! Can we get a volunteer who can timekeep for us tonight? With 5 proposals, it's really important to keep people on time. Anybody volunteer?
Do we have the binder? Do we have the binder?
Yay! Thank you, James. So James, you know, for the proposals it's 5 minutes and 2 minutes on the response.
Go back.
Moving on. Okay. So.
How are you? Welcome back. Oh, he said, oh, we heard you.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right. So this Saturday, we're going to be having our PGA, and it's going to be put on by the Actions Committee. So come and help us brainstorm about future actions for the Occupy Los Angeles. Now we are going to ask new people who are here. Is there anyone new here tonight?
My name is Yushi Yamazaki. I'm here to distribute this flyer about the film screening that I'm holding this coming Saturday actually at Southern California Library, and it's about the nuclear disaster in Japan and how people are organizing over there. Oh, and I want to make sure I'm gonna give one to all of you, but it's about how like mothers in Fukushima, are organizing for the reproductive rights, children, like a lot of youth are organizing for a safe environment, and farmers and fishermen are, organizing for their right to have access to their land and ocean, but now their livelihood is kind of gone, nobody buys their contaminated vegetables or fish. And also in Japan, a lot of immigrant communities are, more vulnerable because government doesn't, reach out to them to help them. So I'm doing this in California because California has nuclear power plant over there at San Onofre, between San Diego and Los Angeles. Within the 50 kilometers, of the nuclear power plant at San Onofre, like 7 million people live, and the implication for Californians, I guess it's really huge, you know. So I want you guys to know what's going on over there in Japan, and also what could happen uh, in California. California state government would not be able to compensate, for 7 million people, their property and everything. So to keep, this planet habitable, like you know, um, I want you to come and watch this film together and discuss those issues. Um, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mike asked that I remind people that in El Diablo Canyon, we not only have an active nuclear plant, but it's right on a fault line. So just to keep them mindful of that. At this point, we're going to move on and ask for a volunteer to read our principles of solidarity. Anybody have those? Ah, Shama. Yes.
Mic check.
Mic check.
We are the 99%.
We are the 99%.
And we have moved to reclaim our mortgage future.
We have moved to reclaim our mortgage future.
Through a direct democratic process.
Through a direct democratic process.
We have come together as individuals.
We have come together as individuals.
And crafted these principles of solidarity.
And crafted these principles of solidarity.
Which are points of unity.
Which are points of unity.
That include but are not limited to.
That include but are not limited to.
Engaging in direct and transparent participatory democracy.
Engaging in direct, transparent, participatory democracy.
Exercising personal and collective responsibility.
Exercising personal and collective responsibility.
Recognizing individuals' inherent privilege.
Recognizing individuals' inherent privilege.
And the influence it has on all interactions.
And the influence it has on all interactions.
Empowering one another against all forms of oppression.
Empowering one another against all forms of oppression.
Redefining how labor is valued.
Redefining how labor is valued.
The sanctity of individual privacy.
The sanctity of individual privacy.
The belief that education is a human right.
The belief that education is a human right.
And making technologies, knowledge, and culture.
Making technologies, knowledge, and culture
Open to all. Open to all.
open to all.
To freely access, create, modify, and distribute.
To freely access, create, modify, and distribute.
We are daring to imagine a new socio-political and economic alternative that offers greater possibility of equality. We are consolidating the other proposed principles of solidarity, after which demands follow.
So, we'd like a little input from the TA tonight, okay? We've got 5, let's hear it, 5 proposals. We're going to waive the discussion tonight to try to get through these proposals, and Candace will be leading the discussion on Wednesday, where we will be talking about planning for and participating in the art walk and our strategies there. So that will be on Wednesday. A lot of people are at planning meetings for MIGs. That's the good news tonight. We're hoping we have a quorum for these proposals. My question is this: I want to do a temperature check on tonight, not doing personal statements of nonviolence. If anyone is really not okay with skipping that for this evening's GA, please do let me know as we do this temperature check, okay? So I'm doing a temperature check tonight that we would not do the personal statements of nonviolence, which we've been doing. Okay, I see All I need to see is one person who doesn't like it, and as far as I'm concerned, we're going to go ahead and do it, okay? So let's see if anybody would like to step forward with a personal statement of nonviolence.
It's always a good idea.
Do it, Shaima.
Shaima, you got one?
I can do it.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, mic check.
Mic check.
I am nonviolent.
I am nonviolent.
I use nonviolence.
I use nonviolence
And civil disobedience.
and civil disobedience
Autonomously. To further my own agenda.
to further my own agenda
And the movement's agenda.
and the movement's agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move forward tonight. Next, we are going to take time-sensitive announcements. We're going to go through those, then we're going to try to get through all these proposals, and then time permitting, we'll move into other announcements. So please see one of your stackers, okay, by the left, if you have a time-sensitive announcement.
First on stack, Barry.
Those who have been attending each General Assembly are familiar with the case of Carlos Montes, who has been framed up on charges of falsely registering for a firearm, as well as along with 23 others, being subpoenaed for a grand jury about his role in organizing protests at the Republican National Convention. There's going to be a fundraiser for him coming up this Saturday, beginning at 7 at the Echo Park United Methodist Church. There already is an afternoon event concerning women's rights, including a performance of Eve Ensler's vagina monologues. So, if you can't, you'll be able to make it from one to the other and not miss anything, as well as if you don't have quite the money that they ask for a donation, we can waive a little bit, or even a lot. The important thing is to get the money for guys' legal defense. The government has an unlimited supply of injustice. I have a limited supply of people.
Barry. Next up is Candace.
Hi, Candace.
Hello. So this Thursday is Art Walk. And so we're gonna meet on the west steps of City Hall at 8 Solidarity Park at 8 o'clock. And then we're gonna march to Art Walk. And our plan is to go down Main Street and then go up Spring, and then from there we kind of like disperse and do outreach. And then some of us are gonna do videotaping YouTube to try to get people to pledge that they're gonna strike and that they're not gonna participate in capitalism or any of that on May 1st. So I wanted to do a discussion topic tonight, but we have 3 proposals, not gonna happen. So Wednesday, please bring your thinking hat, and we'd love for everyone to participate, because since it is a GA pass, Occupy Art Walk, I would love it to really be something that the whole General Assembly really does. So, see everyone Thursday.
Thank you.
Next up is Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi. Okay, so I'm just announcing we're having a direct action affinity group meeting this Wednesday at the Venice Shrine.
Woo!
It's going to be at 2 o'clock, and then after the meeting, we are going to do a bank march for direct action outreach to raise awareness for MIGS. And I also just wanted to read kind of what our mission statement is. The OLA Direct Action Affinity Group brings together those who are interested in building resistance and working outside of the permitted political have open meetings every Wednesday.
Yeah!
Still at the grind.
Next up is Julie. Very quickly, this Saturday at the Occupy Freedom School, we're going to do a follow-up workshop on action planning. I'll be facilitating, hopefully not by myself. We're going to be coming up with actions for Occupy LA moving forward using some strategic thoughts that we would use, like who our target is, who we want to reach, how do we want to reach them, what works, and moving from our goals. So it's from 12 p.m. Saturday at 118 Winston, Occupy Freedom School, and you're all welcome. Next up is Henry.
This will be item number 5 on the agenda, so just in case not everybody's here at the end, tomorrow's the day of outrage, April 10th. We are all straight on Martin. The whole damn system is guilty. Make April 10th the day of outrage, peaceful time, whenever and wherever there's a chance to act with daring and creativity, and have all that feed into a movement that will not stop into the whole system that's responsible for the deaths of so many here and around the world, or wherever you are. But there's also the conversion at 4 p.m. at Laverne Park, there's a speak out, and then a march down Crenshaw Boulevard. Did everybody hear that?
No.
And I have flyers.
Here, I have a flyer.
It's going too fast.
Day of outrage for Trayvon Martin. The convergence, Lamert Park, a speak out, 4 o'clock, Lamert Park, in the park, and a march down Crenshaw Boulevard at 5 o'clock. But it's also wherever and whenever you can, take creative action to raise your voice against this modern-day lynching of Brother Trayvon Martin. You got it, Captain.
Good. Okay, we're closing stack on time sensitive. Well, we got Anthony still on stack. A couple of quick announcements. One is that at 6 p.m. tomorrow at Pasadena City Hall, there's going to be a protest against the police killing of a guy named McCrary, last name McCrary, another African American innocent person that was just killed by police. 6 p.m. Pasadena City Hall. You're also at 8:30 tomorrow, when many of us are already going to be in court. There's the Stop LAPD Spying demonstration on 1st and Main.
He was shot 10
There, a rat just ran. A rat just ran through the crowd.
Taxpayers.
That was a badass rat.
Hey everybody. I just wanted to give everyone a quick debrief on the action this past Saturday. It went really well. Matt Ward was kind enough to get us a bus for the event. So we had about 20 occupiers, some from Skid Row, some from LA, and that's it pretty much. And we all went up there to Pomona to flyer this like hip hop festival. We had all these crazy flyers, and like it was really great, and like people were receptive about like class struggle and anti-capitalism, and less so about the general strike and not going to work and not going to school. So just to give you guys kind of a heads up on like demographics and shit. But then also we had the people that some people took issue with at the previous GAs. We had them hand out feminist propaganda from an anarchist scene that we printed. It went really well. A lot of us learned a lot about a lot. And then we were, during the middle of the day, everyone was getting kind of out of shape, and you know, it was really hot, and we didn't have a canopy. So we took a group consensus and decided to go to a mall in Ontario, and we flyed the shit out of the mall. We mic checked the food court, and then we marched out. Then we marched out of the mall chanting "Anticapitalista." So it was awesome. It was badass. We should do more mall marches. We should do more mall outreach. I'm totally down. If anyone is interested, you can come to the Direct Action Affinity Group meeting. Direct Action Affinity Group came out and brought a shit ton of food and a shit ton more flyers, and it was really helpful, and everyone was really supportive. So I just want to thank everyone who was involved, and thank you for, you know, coming together as a community. Yeah.
Mic check!
Mic check.
We're going to go into proposals.
We're gonna go into proposals.
But right before that, we're going to demonstrate some of our hand signals.
Right before that, we're going to demonstrate some of our
You're
happy.
And you know it.
And you know it.
Give me spirit fingers.
Give me some spirit fingers.
If you're sad.
If you're sad.
And you disagree.
And you disagree.
Show me the scene of things.
Show me the scene of things.
We know what that is. We know what that is. All right, if you think we're going out of process.
We're going on a process.
And we need to get back to the point at hand.
And we need to get back to the point at hand.
Show me the triangle.
Show me the triangle.
Show me that thing. All right. If you need a point of information, or if you have one,
If you need a point of information, we have one.
give me a finger.
Give me a finger.
What's the two-finger thing?
Clarity. Question. Clarity.
Oh, no, you're right. It's a point. Okay, so if you have a point of clarity,
If you have a point of clarity,
on top of that information,
on top of that information,
give me the two fingers.
it's two fingers.
And if someone's going on too long,
Hey, what's going on too long?
Give them a roll.
and if you're way over,
At the river time.
All right. And the very last thing,
And the very last thing.
which we're probably going to see tonight in great mass and demonstration. Right. The hard block.
The hard block.
It's All right. Only use this if this undermines solidarity,
It is undermines solidarity,
safety,
the safety,
and the general wellness of this community.
and the general wellness of this community.
Okay. So now the first proposal is going to be talking about cell phones.
It's going to be talking about cell phones.
Would we please have the proposal come on up?
Please have the proposal come on. Alex.
Hi, Alex. My proposal is that everybody gets a cell phone. Not everybody, okay? Active participants in this movement. Not just anybody can get a cell phone. So I request for some cell phones. Okay, if anybody, Virgin Mobile's got one, a deal going on for 100, free activation for 30 days, and then $35 a month. You're only gonna need those phones for like at least 2 to 3 months for right now until May 1st. And if you have any questions on that, we're still trying to figure out what kind of systems we're gonna get so we can get them all on the same page so everybody's connected. I'm tired of my only phone being the only one out there with like 4, 7, 8 guys, you know what I mean? And that didn't go so well, but at least we got some of the footage that we needed, thanks to my buddy Ivan. So I suggest that you guys stand behind this, that we should all get cell phones, active participants on this only. And if you don't need it, don't take it. Give it to somebody that does need it. That's my proposal.
thank you. So one proposal has been withdrawn for this evening, so we're now on 4. That's our first proposal. At this point, we're going to be opening up Stack for questions of clarity. So if there's something you don't understand, a question that you have, this is not for concerns yet. This is for questions of clarity. Please get on Stack.
Okay.
Alex.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, so we're going to do the whole question, so don't pay attention. Yeah. First on stack, we got Colin.
Hey, so I have a few questions. You brought this to Resources Committee and we kind of discussed it. Before I can support it though, I think we need to know, how are we going to decide who gets the phones? How many you're going to buy? Who's going to keep track of them? How much it's going to cost? The details aren't really there, so I'm wondering if you have any more.
Well, on that, everybody here knows each other. Okay, you know who needs a phone, right? You know, I know Beth needs a phone. She needs a phone that records. You know, and
She has a
knows
phone.
it too, so there you go. So now, to be informed, to get this thing going, you need to be informed. And there's guys that are out there that that we can't find. So we need to give them those resources. If you don't give them those resources, how can they show up to an event?
Cross Expose is here streaming. He probably has a better connection than me. You might want to switch over to crossexpones.com to get a better view of the GA.
That happens.
So you don't have answers then?
No. We'll have like prices for you tomorrow, and I'm working with trying to ask some of the media groups to see if they want to jump on board on this, so they can control it maybe. whoever gives them, so we can all broadcast on that. So if somebody can't make it, everybody's always broadcasting.
Okay. Next on stack we have Daniel.
Is he talking about live
My
streaming?
question was pretty much like
Is
Colin's.
he talking about live streaming?
How many cell phones? Because I think we need to know a definite number. I
He
don't
said
think it needs
someone
to
always
be.
broadcasting?
I don't. It being vague and it just being like the people that we know and the people that we know need one. That's really vague. I've been here pretty consistently for like the last 5 months. There are a lot of fucking people who don't know me, and I don't know their needs. So I think we need to nail down a number,
Okay.
and then after that, determine like which people need them the most, which people are like most essential to the movement, and then we need to know how long of a contract are we going to pay for it, whether or not we're going to pay for the contract or just the cell phone.
You don't have to get a cell phone with a contract. They got month to month now. There's a lot of places that got month to month. Virgin Mobile has got no credit checks, no nothing. You go there and you buy your phone, your HTC Android phone, and it's already activated for you. And then you pay the next month $35, so that you got 2 months, okay, for $135. Okay. What else?
How long? Well, you say how long, but how many?
I don't think you're gonna get those phone back. Actually, you know that because people are gonna lose them. So basically, it's like an investment that you're gonna have to like, well, if he loses or breaks it, they're not gonna. If they break it, you're not gonna have insurance for them anyway, unless you get a plan for that. But we're not gonna sit there and service everybody's needs. Okay, we want to get them informed. Most of these people live in the streets, and they're asking, hey, can I borrow your phone? So just to call me and find out where actually am I at, and it's like, and then when I get there, I can't even call them to let them know, hey, if they lose it, something, wow, they lose it, you know what I mean? So, but at least somebody next to him has a phone, they can use, not just one phone for 7 guys.
Thank you. Next on stack we have Alex.
Yeah. I would love to have a cell phone just so I know like, what's going on. So I'm one of those persons that would totally be for this proposal, except there is no base money. You're not asking for a base money. I think that's a huge problem.
Okay.
The people previously mentioned that. I have to bring that up to your attention as well. Like, what's a base money for how many people, and how do you prioritize who gets it? I really disagree that if people were to get the phones and they lose them, come on, responsibility. This is movement money if we were to do that. So people need to be held accountable. So I would say like it's a good idea. Come up with a base money that it's realistic.
$5,449.
And who gets the priority. So
but that's subject to change. That's subject to change. I'm not gonna sit there and ask for 10 phones and get 5. I'm gonna ask you for more so I can, we can work a number out. Okay.
Next on stack is Ruth.
For whoever's watching, you guys should switch over to crossbones.com to get a better connection.
Okay.
I do think like maybe if it came on a case by case basis, like we all know that Liz Beth does like a lot of streaming. She was the one you were mentioning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like we could all go, oh that we know her, we see her, she's got streaming, and she's obviously somebody who would be like quite useful. She probably doesn't need the phone. Like I don't do any fucking streaming. I shouldn't have a phone paid for by the movement. So I think we should decide on a case by case basis, and then people who don't have phones know that they can hook up with the people who do. So like we don't have to buy every single occupier a phone, but like people know Liz has a phone. Okay, I'll go to her if I need to use that phone to make a call or an occupier related thing. So that's just
Well, something. I like what you said, but I'm paying for my own phone. It's not occupying money. Okay. So and I've been hanging around with these guys, hanging around 6, 7, 8 guys, and nobody has a phone. Okay, that's my personal phone. Maybe I should get reimbursed for all the money that I've been spending for this. Okay, but so now if they're live streaming, how is the other person without a phone gonna see it if he doesn't have a phone?
but everyone's gonna live stream. There's gonna be 20 people who are all live streaming because they've got phones from
So
Occupy
who's
LA.
on the receiving end? There's nobody there. He doesn't have a phone.
No, but I'm saying though, we both.
currently there are questions, and I'd like to remind everyone that we're going to get back on the topic.
We're going to get back on the
Sky.
topic.
Sky.
We got one other person on
Crossbones.com?
stack for questions.
We have one other person on staff
Yeah,
for questions.
crossbones.com. Okay.
And at this point we've closed stack for questions.
Come on, Lucky.
Sorry guys, I thought you were doing concerns.
Okay, we'll move there.
Okay, we'll get to
So,
concerns.
my apologies.
Steven. Yes. My question is, I just want to be clear. Would you be willing to do some more work on this proposal to bring it back in a more detailed form?
Yes.
I guess that's also kind of a concern, but it's more just like a question. Like, are you here to kind of see if we're interested? Is that kind of what's going on?
No, I want this to happen.
Tonight?
No, not tonight. But by tomorrow, somebody's actually going to help me, and we're going to write a proposal, and then I just need it to happen. Don't you guys want it to happen?
So would you be comfortable like waiting until like you work with that person to work some more on this proposal?
Yeah, we're going to try to work on it tonight.
All right. So you're at this point saying you're willing to withdraw the
She doesn't have money to get here.
bring it back on
She have a phone.
Wednesday.
That's correct.
All right then.
Can we also just get individuals who are interested in this proposal to go see Alex so that they can also have their own conversation with resources? Maybe it can be a case-by-case basis, but please go see Alex to continue the conversation.
And one more thing, Alex, we didn't propose it, but we are asking 3 people to present the proposal. So when you come back, you need to see 3.
Okay. No
All
problem.
right.
I think I got that covered.
So the website is crosstextbones.com. He's here streaming. He has probably a better reception than I do, so you should go to his stream.
Statement that we worked on with Veterans for Peace. So Mike, we now have 1 staffer. Mike is going to be reading that statement. You're now moderating. I'll be reading it with him. Who else? Third, Daniel.
Okay, the what is the statement of solidarity to Veterans for Peace. The why is it's the response to the discussion session that we had, I think it was a week ago. And the how is by reading the statement and having the GA consensus on it and endorsing it. Okay, I'll start off and Daniel's going to finish it off. Occupy LA recognizes and welcomes the involvement of Veterans for Peace with the Occupy movement and appreciates all the sacrifices they have made in the protection of peaceful protesters engaged in exercising their First Amendment rights to free speech and peaceful assembly. The plight of veterans is very dear to the hearts of Occupy activists. Veterans and active military personnel, being part of the 99%, have been exploited and abused for the profit of the 1%. Occupy LA is committed to highlighting the neglect of veterans by a government that represents the interests of the corporations and the 1%, and that turns a blind eye to the basic requirements of veterans. We stand in solidarity with Veterans for Peace in their struggle to bring relief to the housing, employment, physical and mental health needs of veterans.
As police violence and brutality increases with the arrival of the American Spring, we believe the timely formation of veterans' peace teams is beneficial to the growth of the Occupy movement. But Occupy LA wants Veterans for Peace to be a part of this growth and not be limited to providing security against police brutality. We invite all veterans to join us at our General Assemblies and get more involved in the decision-making process. We have formed the Veterans Peace Affinity Group to act as a liaison between present and be present at our facilitation committee meetings. We recommend establishing multiple modes of communication, including but not limited to cell phones, emails, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Occupy LA would be honored to join Veterans for Peace for any of their upcoming actions or projects, especially the Arlington West Memorial at Santa Monica Pier. We also offer any services within our capability that Veterans for Peace finds useful, like media teams, street medics, flyer and banner art, dramas, etc.
That's it, basically. If it's okay with you, you can just endorse it and we can get on with the...
Okay, this is an endorsement, but we do need to see if people have questions of clarity. So let's just see, is there anyone here who has a question of clarity?
Anyone wish to understand the organization? Yes. Anyone wish to understand what this endorsement means? In support of veterans. So first off, we got Steven.
Mostly, I want to know more about Veterans for Peace and what this endorsement means. Yeah, I think Patrick's pretty much summarized. Like maybe give me some example causes that you guys support, and then maybe also some like actions that you guys or campaigns you're organizing and actions you've taken recently as an organization. So that would be, I think that would be helpful for me.
Okay. It's just a response to a statement they've made. They've sacrificed their services, and Scott Olson got a fractured skull. We all know all the details, but basically it's just a response, and basically telling that we hear them and we appreciate what they've done, and we're willing to work with them and help them with their projects. Actions they have, besides the May 1st general strike which they're going to support us on. Actually, they're getting ready with the peace teams, especially for that. They have the NATO summit. That's their biggest action coming up. It's on May 19th and 20th. They have an ongoing project every Sunday at Santa Monica Pier. They set up a memorial for all the soldiers that have fallen in Iraq and Afghanistan. And they do this every Sunday, rain or shine. They can always use help with that. And
Yeah, I feel like I know what that organization stands for a little bit more now.
Okay.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I feel like I know what the organization stands for a little more now. I guess one clarifying thing I want to know is like what are the positions? The organization basically is just their position is things that will support peace and support veterans. That's basically the summary.
Well, I think Mike told me once, like if you know, the organization that's like Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans Against the War, like they're specifically against the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. But Veterans for Peace are basically retired separated
Speak up,
veterans.
please. Can't hear you.
Veterans for Peace are basically retired and separated veterans who are against all war, and that's different than Iraq and Afghanistan veterans against the war. So they're more in line with a lot of our principles and less politically motivated by specific wars. So I think that's a big distinction for this organization.
We have one more question of clarity, and then we are going to take a temperature check. We have Ashley left.
Okay, so I need some clarity because I saw this, I've seen this happen in other states where people kind of glorify war, or people or soldiers who came back from war, and that they're so much more patriotic than those of us who didn't go to war because they went to. And so I guess my clarifying question is, you know, I don't know. I guess are we going to be promoting the military-industrial complex by default by supporting these people? Oh, okay. I just really want to see more stands against the war. You know, so.
They're actually against all wars. They want to end all wars. They want to get away from they want to stop the arms race. They want to get rid of all the nuclear weapons. They want to release all the veterans that are being neglected.
Excuse me, it's a conversation between you guys only, or
No,
are you talking to the assembly? Come on, speak up, man.
So no, okay.
So, sorry.
Please, we want to understand that too.
He's saying they're against all wars. They're definitely against the military-industrial complex.
No, because the only reason I asked that, you guys are probably confused, is because I know in Oakland they had, when they had their first big protest, a veteran was injured and they made him kind of like a hero of the movement, but there was a lot of other people who were injured who weren't in the war, and I just don't want us to glorify people who went to war. That's all I'm saying.
It's a misinterpretation.
Well, I was gonna say Scott Foley, the guy you were talking about, was here Scott Olson, I'm sorry, was here last Monday, and if you were to hear him speak, I had to leave early, but I saw he's not for glorifying veterans over other people. I think that's something more that police are into. Like when a policeman dies, it's like But when a veteran dies, it's they're a person, and going to war, I think that's the experience you get. You realize that your enemies are people, and that's why Veterans for Peace is different than a lot of anti-war veterans organizations.
We've got one more question of clarity with Colin, and then we are going to do a temperature check.
Lucky, you got a point of information?
Yeah, point of information. There was a huge difference check.
Mic check.
There's a huge difference.
There's a huge difference.
From being pro-war.
From being pro-war.
And being pro-soldier.
And being pro-soldier.
What this proposal is for.
What this proposal is for.
Is for being pro-soldier.
Is for being pro-soldier.
Especially those.
Especially those.
Who are for a movement.
Who are for a movement.
And for solidarity.
And for solidarity.
Actually, Veterans for Peace is not all veterans. There are some associate members that aren't even, I think Julie's one of them.
That's even better.
So you don't have to be a veteran. You don't have to be a veteran to join. You just have to be against war. It's just
We got one more question of clarity.
They're not really gaining anything from our statement. It's just a statement in response to the statement they've made for all the sacrifices they've made, and they're not getting anything. What we're volunteering to support them with, as far as human resources, it's got to go through GA before we act on it.
All right, Colin.
My question is, does this group support or plan to support any political candidate?
No.
Political candidate.
I'm not aware of it, and if they do, I'll be pulling myself out of the organization.
I kind of pulled myself off moderating duty to be able to be part of the three presenters since I'm an associate member of VFP. The Veterans for Peace does not support electoral candidates. They're very like-minded to us. They did issue a statement in solidarity with us for MiGs, saying they would be there. They even offered to be human shields to stand between us and the police. So just so you know. And they definitely are not making any endorsements and don't support corporate candidates that are pro-war.
And this is basically a response to that statement that Julie mentioned for the peace teams that are going to put on the line to protect us from, protect you from police brutality.
So that's kind of thorough. Let's take a temperature check. See how everyone's feeling here about our statement. Veterans, we're good. Consensus. Solidarity Club. All right, the next proposal up. The next proposal up.
The next proposal up.
Next proposal up is for the May 1st General Strike Convergence.
It's for the May 1st General Strike Convergence.
And I believe Jessica said that. And Mike.
Mic check.
Mic check.
If everybody stops talking, you don't have to repeat everything after me.
Okay.
What? The May 1st convergence point will start at 12:30 p.m. at 6th and Main. This is a change from 4th and Flower that was previously decided. Roughly in front of LA Can, where we have Occupy Main Street. We will feed people, have the People's Print Lab, the Welcome Tent, Wellness Committee, music, and provide information on the history of May 1st, Occupy LA, the GA, consensus, and anything else anyone wants to bring to put out. As long as it's horizontal and democratic and follows our principles of solidarity and statement of economy. We will remain at 6th and Main to welcome the winds at 3 p.m. We will do a direct action in the financial district. Then we will join the SCIC march at 4 p.m. as previously consented upon.
How? Get volunteers to help with food and information. Do outreach. Bring everyone who lives in central LA, Echo Park, Silver Lake, and the surrounding organizations.
Why? Feeding people is important. We will do outreach specifically to Skid Row. What better way to be anti-capitalist than to feed people for free? Also provide information for folks so they can plug in after MiGs. It's also a better idea to converge on a less policed area. We will be set up on the sidewalk until we reach critical mass.
We're going to open up stacks for questions. Anyone that has any questions?
Come on down, Barry.
Okay,
Here is a.
Wait, hold on, Barry. We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
Stack.
yeah.
Stack. Yeah, come on in.
All right, we got stacks open. First up is chips.
Does this proposal take into account? Okay, mic check.
Mike check.
I know Michael Novick
I know Michael Novick
had some concerns
had some concerns
about 6th and Main.
about 6th of May.
I can't remember exactly what they were.
I can't remember exactly what they were.
I think it was
I think it was
another rally meeting at that time
meeting at that time
on that spot,
which
which would make this difficult.
which would make this difficult.
Did you know about that? Is that cool? Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Novick originally said that there is a march that will be marching through Main Street. They won't be meeting there, and that it's probably a permanent march. They're probably working with the police, so they are gonna like go through the street, and the police will be there, like shutting down the street for a brief period of time. We talked about it, and we figured it's actually good visibility for us to be on the sidewalk as the march goes through. And it'll buy us time because they'll shut down the street for a little bit, and we actually won't even take the street until all the winds have converged, or like we have no choice and everyone's spilling onto the sidewalk. Plus, we have Mayday mobiles that will probably really help with the shutting down of the street.
Mayday mobile.
Next up is Barry.
Concerning other events happening, there is another pro-immigrant rights march happening, I believe, from Olympic and Broadway at 1 p.m. A full right for immigrants, which is the more moderate group, will be doing it. I'm wondering both about time conflict and, of course, the media coverage conflict. There's only a certain number of people in media that cover a certain number of events, as well as having an event at a place that has low traffic is my other reservation.
Is that a question of clarity, Barry?
What was the question?
The question is, how have you coordinated with a full rights for immigrants march, and were you aware of the conflict in time, place,
To my knowledge, we have not coordinated with the Full Rights for Immigrants March. Yeah, we haven't talked to them at all. In terms of media, we haven't really called the corporate media because that's just something we haven't done either.
I will say, is everyone clear why we're changing the location from 4th and Flower to 6th and Main?
No.
Okay, we sent a recon team to make sure like what the location looked like and how, where we were going basically. And we sent, I think 5 or 4 people? 4 people there, and they all had like 99 stuff on them. And they were harassed all day by corporate bank security. Okay, so if we meet there, if we converge there, we're already going to have heat on us when when the 4 winds come. And
Also, originally we wanted to converge at a Freddie Mac building. As it turns out, it's not a Freddie Mac building. Freddie Mac only owns like 2 floors in the building. So we thought it would be kind of counterproductive to like show up and protest Freddie Mac when most of the people in the building wouldn't really know what's going on because it's not a Freddie Mac building. In addition to literally we were there for like maybe 10 minutes and we got escorted off the premises, even off the sidewalk, by the security. So we moved it because of all those concerns.
And I've heard that we've talked to both immigrants' rights movement or marches, but that we're specifically working with the SCIC one at 4 p.m. and that we weren't technically joining up with the 1 p.m. one. I don't know if any of the winds are doing that, but as far as the convergence point, we were choosing Main and 6 that we could kind of get there, everyone could spill in, and by 3 o'clock we could do a direct action before we march, before we join SCIC at 4. And that way we can if you want to join the working group, we meet Tuesdays at 7:30 at here. So we're gonna come up with 2 or 3 ideas that will already have full-on contingency defense plans in case anything goes wrong. And then when we converge at 3, we can have a general discussion and decide where we want to go and what we want to take or what we want to do.
Does that answer the question?
And does that really answer the question? considering we have a Georgia person now and Georgia marchers for each one of the wins, and a explanation would be needed as to why a fifth place.
Can I respond? It's not a fifth place, it's a convergence point. So we're literally setting up and waiting for all of you guys to get there. But we are setting up early because we want to feed the people of Skid Row, and we feel like that's a direct action in itself. So we're going to stay on the sidewalk, and then as you come in, we will turn into marching formation. Everything will become mobile, and it'll be great.
We'll also be feeding the convergence. We'll also be feeding the Four Winds and providing like mad water and music and zines for the Four Winds. So.
Okay, so we've heard questions of clarity.
We got Sergi.
Yeah, you say you want to be feeding people. How much money have you allocated for feeding people? Who's going to do it? Is that money going to come out from the $6,000 budget?
At this point, we haven't looked into monetary funds for food. We've been kind of trying to contact the Food Not Bombs, and we have someone who's trying to contact Homeboy Industries to maybe get some lunches from there. Someone also is looking to contact the Hippie Kitchen. So to answer that, right now we're not really planning on asking for any money. We're going to try to do this without any money. If it turns out that we do need money, we'll have to, get that shit sorted out accordingly. But at this point, our plan is no money, all resource-based donations and all that kind of stuff.
And we will be opening up ways for people to help. We do need volunteers. People want to be on a kitchen team or work food or work the welcome tent or help with music and coordination and setup. Yes, Convergence Point needs you too.
That answers, yeah, cool.
All right. That's it. All right, so now we're gonna, if there's no other questions, we're gonna take a temperature. I just want to see how people are feeling about this convergence point. Does anyone not see it? Does anyone have
6th of Maine, yeah.
6th of Maine?
Occupied.
LA Can.
And we have spoken with Bilal from LA Can, and they did say that it was okay.
And Bilal says consensus too. All right, consensus. Consensus! Quick thing. I've been neglecting an occupier who came down from Canada to say hi. Please, come on, man.
Awesome!
Hi, everyone.
Hey!
I came all the way down.
From
Canada. And as you know, Occupy is international. I feel just as home here. As I do. All the way in Canada. And if you guys. Make your way up to Canada. I'm sure you would feel. Just as home there too.
Which occupation?
What town are you from? Sir?
Toronto.
Thank you. Welcome.
Well, if we keep going this way, we'll have to figure out what to do, or we'll have to call it a day early.
Road trip.
Okay. Our final proposal this evening is to endorse a day of outrage. So I think we're looking for Henry to come back up.
Mic check. Day of outrage. April 10th. We are all Trayvon Martin. The whole system.
The whole
system. The system is guilty.
The system is guilty.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Speak out in Leimert Park.
5 p.m.
March on Crenshaw Boulevard. The murder of Trayvon Martin stings. It's an outrage. Countless outrages.
It's an outrage on top of countless outrages.
And it is right.
And it is right.
And inspiring.
And inspiring.
That in Sanford, Florida.
That in Sanford, Florida.
And all over.
And all over.
People are determined.
People are determined.
This is not going to go down.
That this is not going to go down.
This time.
This time.
Some of the anger.
Some of the anger.
Those.
Those.
For whom the system.
For whom the system.
Has no future.
Has no future.
And the reality.
And the reality.
Behind that anger.
Behind that anger.
Are cutting through the whitewash.
Are cutting through the whitewash.
The cover up.
The cover up.
The lies.
The lies.
This time.
This time.
People are breaking through.
People are breaking through.
The fear.
The fear.
That the murder.
That the murder.
Of so many black youth.
Of so many black youth.
By police.
By police.
Or wannabe police.
Or wannabe police.
Is supposed to instill.
Is supposed to instill.
And enforce.
And enforce.
The hoodie.
The hoodie.
Has become. A badge.
A badge.
Of honor.
Of honor.
How is it?
How is it?
That in this day.
That in this day.
And age. The murder of Trayvon Martin.
The
murder of Trayvon Martin.
Is
not
an isolated incident.
It's not an isolated incident.
But yet another.
In
a long line.
In a long line.
Of killing black people.
Of killing black people.
Especially youth.
Especially youth.
It is because these crimes.
It is because these crimes
are encouraged, carried out, and justified, by a system.
By a system.
But this time,
many
people are saying, we cannot let this
go
on anymore. Not just this one incident.
Not just this one incident.
Terrible as it is.
As terrible as it is.
But the whole damn thing.
But the whole damn thing.
And that this is so important.
And this is so important.
And so inspiring.
And so inspiring.
At the same time. This is a moment.
To see.
A moment. To build a movement.
To
really.
And
finally. Put an end. To all the horrors.
That come.
From this system.
Listen
to the voices. Think about the reality. If the powers that be. Can get away with this. What won't they get away with? The days of half-stepping. And tired out. Illusions. That somewhere in the power structure. Is going to change anything real. These days must be gone.
We're going to open up stacks. For questions on this support.
Questions of clarity on this proposal.
Right.
Barry, it's a question of clarity, not a concern.
I have a question of clarity.
Go to stack.
Okay, two questions of clarity.
You got a question?
Oh, I thought he was. My question is, because this, would you guys consider? Oh, my question is, would you consider? Supporting tomorrow. At 6 p.m. In Pasadena. For a local boy. Who was murdered by the police. And so that's 2 hours after yours. Can we also support the local victims? Of racism. And slaughter.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
To clarify, first of all, we're saying wherever and whenever you are, find a way to protest this. But there's going to be a convergence at 4 p.m. and a sneak out in Lamert Park. This is a few blocks from Crenshaw High School, which gets out around that time. And so people, the students there are being invited down to talk about what it's like to live under a death sentence in this society if you're young and black or brown. And anytime you go to the store, you might not come back. Nothing will happen about it. And so this is actually, talking about the whole system of that does this to people, and I think that actually the one in Pasadena, people that there have been invited to this one, or people from this one will go to there, or whatever. It's not a contest.
So, I think her question of clarity was kind of a friendly amendment.
Yes.
Not really a friendly amendment. I'm just saying that I just came from the Trayvon Marching Rally, and the Pasadena director of the Pasadena chapter of NAACP was pleading for Los Angeles to come and support, the local victims, the local Trayvon Marchers. And it's tomorrow at 6 p.m. and I believe it's in front of the Pasadena courthouse, but she knows where it is.
Pasadena City Hall, 6 p.m. And I know his last name is McCreary or something.
Yeah. So I just wonder if there's a way we can join it, and so tomorrow when people Google for this event, they also find out about Pasadena. So we can also keep the local movement going too.
What does that say?
Yeah, great.
One thing is we actually had somebody from Revolution Books who was at that rally, and it is all part of this day of outrage, because as far as we're concerned, look, 5 people were gunned down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, it's basically open season on black people in this country. And for those of us who aren't black, or if we are not doing something about it, we are complicit with it. This is what time it is, folks. This shit is gone too far. It's been happening 57 years ago. There was Emmett Till. Are we going to wait another 57 years? We are saying no. This shit has got to stop now. It's got to stop in Pasadena. It's got to stop in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's got to stop.
Latinos, don't forget the Latinos are being killed too.
Yeah.
Latino East LA.
East LA. It's happening in East LA. Inglewood.
I think we're all feeling this. I know Barry, you may have a concern, but we're gonna see that right now. Let's take it.
And one more thing. Furthermore, the other part of this day that we're talking about is that, look, we're going to need a revolution to actually get rid of this for once and for all. Okay, that's what this day of outrage is about. Is about that, because look, this shit's been going on for hundreds of years, since the beginning, since the genocide, since slavery, since theft of land from Mexico. And we're talking about this shit has got to stop once for all. And that's the other part of this day that's very important. Is that this is part of a movement that's going somewhere.
All right. So we're going to do a temperature check at this point about supporting this day of outrage. Can we see where people are at?
With the friendly amendment, right?
Yeah. With the friendly amendment that you'll give information about the 6 p.m. event at that rally.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see.
Consensus! Okay, wait. Bring tents. Bring tents.
Nobody's ever going to stop you from doing a mic check anytime tomorrow.
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right. Speaking of mic checks, let's get one. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Because we got through 4 proposals so quickly.
Because we got through 4 proposals so quickly.
We're going to take 1 or 2 quick announcements. And then we are going to have a discussion about planning for the art walk. So Jamie,
Our walk is on Thursday.
where's Jamie?
Jamie! Hi, brothers and sisters!
What up?
Tomorrow is a very important day for all of us. Tomorrow we have, I believe, a brother, maybe sister, is also going in front of court who are being charged with felonies. This is a campaign to rescind Special Order 1. This Special Order 1 is a campaign where small things like taking a picture of a building, drawing a map by a building, going into a public place and asking what the time of the business hours are can be considered suspicious activity. And what they can do is they can make a report about you. That report goes into a data bank. Say you're arrested again for civil disobedience, and all of a sudden your name is not only an LA
jail, whatever it is. It's also in the Norwalk database. So we are going tomorrow to LAPD, to their meeting, to tell them our grievances, that this is not okay. This is like the micromanaging of NDAA. This is like the baby, the cousin of the Patriot Act. It's time that we stand up to LAPD and tell them that we have the right to protest.
Right.
We have the right to gather together and discuss what we think about this country. So tomorrow it is at 8:30 a.m. Meet at 100 West 1st Street. I have flyers if you want information. There's a Facebook page as well. This all ties into things that we're seeing with Trayvon Martin, with the murders in Pasadena, with the murders in my hometown in Monterey Park, with Stephen Rodriguez, who was gunned down 10 times for holding a crowbar. So he was a little angry, but did he deserve 10 shots in the chest? This is racial profiling.
Right.
This is the suppression of freedom of speech. This cannot be tolerated. We will not be turned into felons. We will not go into prison, and we will not have database collected about us. So please come get a flyer. Show up and support. If you can't come tomorrow, this is a continuing campaign. It'll take more than just tomorrow to shut this down. Let's shut it down.
So 8:30 tomorrow morning?
8:30 tomorrow morning.
First in May.
We're going to meet at 8 o'clock in LA Can, a bunch of us.
Oh, good.
To go to First in May.
Good.
So if y'all want to go with us together.
There's a parking lot there too.
Yeah, and also on the Art Walk, some of the occupied Skid Row, we're going to be on Main Street. We're going to put some banners on and everything, and we got a good parking lot back there for Rich's Park. Since it's our week, we're going to bring some drums and everything, so y'all want to come out Thursday night, we will be in front of Main Street.
Occupy Art Walk. Perfect segue. Candace, come on out.
Thank you.
Occupy Art Walk.
Occupy May.
Shoot. Oh, Thursday.
Okay, listen up. Here's our discussion topic.
Okay, so what we were going to discuss was Occupy Art Walk and having it themed for MIGs. And so I guess just to plant seeds, what's been talked about so far is, well, can you give the route, please?
Okay, so we're meeting on the west steps of City Hall.
We're meeting on the west steps of City Hall.
At 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock.
The plan is to march down Main Street.
We're going to march down Main Street.
And then go up Spring.
And up Spring.
And then we would converge on a point. We'll
Converge on a point.
Well, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So basically the concept is we want this to kind of go viral via YouTube.
We want this to go viral on YouTube.
And encourage people to make their own videos.
And encourage people to make their own videos.
Because if somebody makes their own video, they're probably going to follow through on the day and on
When
May
you
1st.
make your own video, you're most likely going to go through with it.
We can hear them.
I cannot.
And so what we would do is
What we will do is
so the march would end.
the march will end.
We would come together.
We will come together.
We'd go into the crowd.
We go into the crowd.
Enjoy a little art.
Yay, arts.
Make 2 or 3 friends.
Make 2 or 3 friends.
And tell them, yo, look at that.
Oh my God, what is
People
that?
are doing crazy things over there, and bring them over and be like, oh, I think this is about May 1st. I think this, have you heard about that? Do you know? Oh, look, they're doing videos right here. Look, that's cool. Have you done yours? Can you? And get it out that way. So that's the concept as it exists right now.
That's the concept.
That involves a lot of resources and
That involves
creativity.
resources, creativity.
More than we have. And
More
so
than
we
we
wanted
have.
to throw it out here and see how we could better the idea as it exists.
So let's throw
So
it out
it's
into the pot and get some
8:50.
stew.
We're going to break down into discussion groups for 15 minutes. That's till 9:05. And pick a recorder to record out. And then we're going to just wrap up the meeting with some other brief announcements.
And then
So
we'll wrap it up.
pick your discussion group and we'll be coming back at 9:05.
Make it into your discussion group.
Okay, Mama Sunshine's going over here where she usually
is. Sorry.
I'm so tired. I wish I could go.
Break into groups!
Sweetie, I have a perfect one. I just want what's the page number for this one?
Sky, how was the online meeting thing last night? Yeah. How was the meeting last night online?
Oh, it went really well. I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, before I forget, I just want to tell you the media meeting on. Okay. Okay, I want to ask you about that, but first, before I forget, I want to tell you the media meeting on Sunday. We're going to talk about amendments for PTA for the proposal.
I wasn't asking about there.
This Sunday?
Right? Wait for it. Wait for it.
I'm like,
Depends on my availability. Where's the if I yeah, okay, yeah, I can probably do
stream each other.
Oh, my stream's down right
Okay, I'm not gonna.
I'm okay with being streamed.
I'm not gonna lose my connection.
Okay. So, I can talk a little bit about what the streamer meeting was about the other night. So there was a few different topics. Some of it was talking about May Day and coverage about that. Some of it was the bulk of the discussion that we had was actually in and around the concept of transparency as it relates to
That's
streaming.
a good thing that we need to talk about.
Good thing that we needed to talk about. A lot of points were brought up. One of the points that was brought up is the leaked documents of police officers using Twitter and the streams to pinpoint folks' locations.
I was on one of the documents. My Twitter account was on the LPD document.
Yeah, that may have been leaked intentionally to cause strife within the streamer community.
The thing that, but actually what I said was that OPD has a stack of photos of occupiers who have warrants. So basically, it wasn't anything inflammatory. It was just factual information that they already had that I shared with the people who are watching my Twitter.
But I'm referring to a different thing.
Huh?
I'm referring to something different.
Okay.
Something that was a timeline that was pieced together with very specific things and was thrown together as a document, and it made it seem that the sole source of information was the streamers and tweeters.
This is probably the document I'm talking about from OPD. That my Twitter. I'm not going to say the name of that Twitter, but it wasn't PMbeers. It was another Twitter.
Okay, yes, I understand.
Yeah. A lot of people are aware, but I don't want to give out too much information. I already gave out a lot, actually. So you think that, do you think the police are trying to get us to stop streaming? Because that wouldn't benefit them.
Not necessarily the police. I don't know. It was a speculation.
So you think someone who was against streaming, who didn't want transparency, leaked that document
and leaked it, or it could have actually been leaked. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, somebody got that pretty quickly. That was January 28th, and very quickly. I mean, it's March. By March 28th, within 2 months, that document was out. That's interesting.
Live streamers rule the world.
Hey, now.
How you doing, fellas?
Oh, it's getting colder.
Need some gloves?
I'm good with my hands in my pocket, I think.
So yes, so we had a long discussion about that and talking somewhat about what can we do? What can we do to ensure that we are safe? Some of it was talking about the buddy system kind of thing.
Yeah.
And one of the points that was made, I think Justin talked about this point, was that at least in several cases there have videos have been used as evidence, but by the defense.
Yeah, that's my hope. That's what I hope would happen.
So that's that was a point, and it was like a 4-hour discussion of various things. So I don't want to, 4 hours of discussion is a long time, but those were sort of the highlights as far as I see them. But it sounds like the streamers are more or less on the same page about a lot of things, which makes sense because we all came out to stream, so obviously we feel certain ways about certain things. There is a group that was put together on Facebook, and I don't have the link right here, for streamers. They're tagging it Orange Block on Twitter, and which of course has its own history here in Los Angeles, the color orange. I know, right? I think the concept is similar to the sunshine block, white block concept, but instead of throwing it up with a term like white block, which sounds like it's against black block tactics, it's something a little bit more inclusive. I'm thinking about putting together a list of things that sort of streamer ethics in and around the Occupy movement, and maybe breaking it into 2 sections, one that is more neutral and one that is more pro-Occupy, and that way folks could maybe self-identify as conforming to one of those ethics sets. Hi, how are you? So that would maybe.
I find myself both independent and I'm part of the media team,
right,
but I'm also independent.
Well, then something like that.
And I'm finding like people here are viewing people in the media team differently than independent, and they think that they can make demands of me because I am an occupier, and I'm saying no, fuck you. Well, I'm going to do what I want to do. I mean, I want to go. It's going to be both ways.
I think that that's something that also needs to be, because there's a lot of crossover between activists in and around the Occupy movement and folks that are, like myself, independent, just covering it, that there's a lot of crossover. There's some people who are more independent, there are less independent, there are occupiers who also stream, there are streamers who aren't occupiers, there's a whole spectrum, right? So it might be good to have a way of self-identifying with an armband or something similar, saying this is the code of ethics I am subscribing to. When you see this band, this should be understood that this is what I'm doing out here. Threats are not going to be okay or tolerated, but know this: when you see this armband, this is what you're expecting. And that's a way to self-identify. And just like the medics have red armbands, it might be a way that will ensure some level of protection, safety, knowing that this is the journalistic ethics that you are subscribing to in and around the Occupy movement when you wear this band or that band. So, because it's a complicated scenario, how much should be streamed, how much should not be streamed, whether it's okay to stream the police doing bad activities, protesters' bad activities, or not. It was a very lively debate.
Yeah, definitely.
As you would expect.
Yeah, definitely.
Journalists have been struggling with these kinds of issues for a long time.
Well, I think I'm of the position of, if you ask me politely, I will turn it the other way. If you ask me politely, I'll drop the volume.
Right.